everyone. This is Rashonda again, the Dietitian Against Diets. One of my guests that I have coming on today, he is a chiropractor by the name of Dr. Xaivier Tipler. He is a chiropractor he owns a chiropractic company, not company practice, called Proficient Chiropractic. Everyone in the healthcare field, especially in the holistic realm, has a unique way how they look at wellness, and that's what we're going to dive in today. So I can't wait for you guys to hear the conversation that we're going to have about wellness, health, nutrition, and how our body heals itself. That's one of the things that he says. Moving forward, and before we get into the conversation, let's recognize some of my partners that are actually responsible for me being on here today. For those in St. Louis, these are the St. Louis people, particularly the ones that live in South City near Tower Grove. There is a corner grocery store, if you don't know about it, called Local Harvest. It is right in the corner of Morgan Ford and Arsenal. I'm being specific because I want you to go by there and take a look into their grocery store and see the variety of things that they have. Anywhere from something that's more health, well, actually most of their foods are health centered, and it really caters to those populations that are vegan and vegetarian, have gluten-free diets, or have certain food intolerances. They have anywhere from produce to frozen foods to foods that products you're familiar with, as well as products you have not. So go in there and explore and support the city and go to Local Harvest here in St. Louis. Go to the website and see what they're all about, their mission behind it at localharveststl.com, or check them out on Instagram at localharveststl and see all the products that they have and how they like to contribute to the city. Local Harvest Grocery here in St. Louis. Custom Foodscaping is an interesting organization. I met the owner maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, and just his passion behind what he does helps me to understand the importance of why he's doing what he does. His name is Matt Levin. I'm sure he's okay with me saying his name, but he is one of the owners of Custom Foodscaping, and his biggest thing is that he wants people to connect with their foods. And so by doing that, he's changing the idea of what landscaping can look like and turning it into foodscaping. So imagine having all your foods, having your garden in your backyard, but aesthetically it's appealing. It's a 2-in-1. So they do anything from consultation to having workshops to coming to your place and just kind of help you to see how you can change and transform your backyard. Go to Custom Foodscaping, see some of the projects that they already have done and some of the upcoming workshops that they're having on their website at www.customfoodscaping.com, or find them on not Facebook. Well, actually, they are on Facebook. Go to Customscaping on Facebook, and obviously, like most people, find them on Instagram at Custom Foodscaping. Another company here in St. Louis, this is I'm doing a local thing right now, is Sarah Foods. So Sarah Food, I say it so many times, but I think it clarifies what they are. I call them the Uber of food delivery, in respects to they are a online platform, a food delivery system where they have local chefs here in St. Louis, and they will make all the meals that you want. Not only will they make all the meals that you want, but they really put more emphasis on specialized meals. So if there's something you need that's low fat, something that's diabetic friendly, something that's gluten free, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, this is the place to go find unique foods that are nutritious and that are affordable. Go online, pick your chef, pick your meal, and pick when you want it, and they will make sure that you have it in a timely manner and that the food is at its superb taste. Go to sarahfood.com and check out their products and their services. If you want to try it out, feel free to utilize the 20% promotion code, and that's LOVE, capital LOVE, and get 20% off. Also, you still want to kind of do a little bit more research, check them out on Instagram. They're on Sarah_food, and you'll find more about their company and what they represent. Last but not least, I want to give my respects to some of the food products that we sometimes tend to forget about, and that's dairy. Now, I know a lot of times that we only think of dairy in light of milk and yogurt, but dairy can come in so many different other forms that can help us to appreciate and to utilize the variety of ways that dairy can be used. Don't forget about your sour cream. Don't forget about your different cheeses. Don't forget about all those yummy dairy products that we have been used to, and we know that they have nutritional benefits that will make sure that we and our children are getting the nutrition that we need. If you want to know and grab more information about anything when it comes to the mission behind Midwest Dairy Council, how they're trying to connect the consumers to the farmers, go to dairygood.com and you will get information, resources, and guess what? Recipes. So Midwest Dairy, undeniably dairy. Rashonda Thornton, Dietitian Against Diets, Here Again podcast. All right, so as I'm building my guest list, one of my favorite guests, I had to bring him to the set. Dr. Tipler, thank you for coming this
One of
afternoon.
your favorites.
Yes, of course you are. I really respect what you do and kind of your why behind it, So let me just kind of give you a little bit of insight what this gentleman is all about. He owns a private practice, chiropractic practice in Overland, Missouri. Him and his business partner, Dr. Everett.
Yes.
Yep. And for about 12 years, you guys been doing your thing?
Yes.
Okay. That within itself is already a lot. But then I started reading more about all of the things he's done. He has served in the military.
Definitely.
thank
War
you for
veteran.
your service. Yes.
Thank you.
And received a bronze medal for being in Iraq for a couple of years. He has received several different business awards. Been a part of different business associations.
Yes.
What is the Power 100? You got something with that?
Yeah. So the Power 100 was something that they did in St. Louis. It was a couple years ago, but they just kind of, pinpointed people that were out in the community that were doing good things for St. Louis, and they were just recognizing. So we were one of the businesses that they wanted to recognize during that time.
Okay, so it was 100 businesses within St. Louis.
Actually, 100 people.
100 people. Also,
So not necessarily businesses. I stand corrected, but more so 100 people that were kind of movers and shakers in St. Louis, sort of say.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So you just kind of trailblaze. You wanted to trailblaze.
We did, yeah.
Okay, I get it. Well, not only does Dr. Tipler have so many different associations is a part of, he's also a family man. You got 3 kids and a lovely wife.
Well, I have 4. Just added 6-month-old girl.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, Zuri. Zuri, Xaivier, Xaivier, and Marley.
Wow. So you have a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
Keeps me busy. Keeps me on my toes.
Yes. Well, it's all good things,
Yeah.
So as I said earlier, you own a private practice in chiropractic work. You ever wonder, like, who wakes up in the morning and say, I want to be a chiropractor? Was that one of the things that happened? Did it like transition into like you getting into that field? Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, so and you hear, if you were to talk to any chiropractor, a lot of chiropractors that I have met throughout the years, one of the things that we are known for saying is that we didn't choose chiropractic chose us. And I think it's something to say about it, because when you think about chiropractic, it's not mainstream, it's not Western medicine, sort of say. It's just something that many people just really don't know and understand. And even for myself, I was a junior going into my senior year in college before I had even knew anything about chiropractic.
So you hadn't even heard of
had never heard of it, had never experienced chiropractic. I mean, the town that I grew up in, we had one doctor, so and that was it. So I had never heard anything about chiropractic, and it was just fortunate that my partner and I, my best friend, we were, like I said, at the end of our junior year, we walking across campus, and a recruiter from Logan University, which is in Chesterfield, Missouri, kind of pulled us to the side and asked us, what we were majoring. We were both in the science department, and I had aspirations of being a physical therapist.
Okay.
And so they kind of, it's not that they go hand in hand, but the educational path was very similar. So when she kind of pulled us to the side, the beginning of my senior year, I had an injury playing basketball in college. I was an athlete, played football, basketball, also ran track, and injured my back. And this was my first experience with physical therapy.
Okay.
And, so with the orthopedic doctors and all that stuff, you get injections for back pain, you get pain pills, you get muscle relaxers,
Band-Aids.
and Band-Aids to cover up a problem. And I continued to have the same issue. I would play in a game and, You know, if we were on a bus trip, I could not sit on the bus. I had to lay on the floor for the trips and things like that. And it
Wow.
just got to a point to where, this is not how things are supposed to be. So there was a friend of mine that played basketball as well, and he was from the area. So he had a chiropractor that he had been going, he told me about since he was young, his entire
Okay.
family. And like I said, that was my first time hearing about it. So he took me, I went to the chiropractor, and I tell you, in like 2 weeks, I was good.
Hmm.
I was back playing basketball, didn't have much issues with my back anymore, and I just thought to myself, like, it's something
Something
about
to it.
this. So I continued to talk to that doctor, and he really educated me on something that I think everyone should really know when it comes to health, when it comes to the body, how the body works, and what God has blessed us with. Um,
And real quick, like when you mentioned like not even being aware of the term or the profession in
hmm
chiropractic profession, and many people that when they do hear about it, it's so many different types. So I feel
Right.
sometimes people first have to understand what is the work behind it, and then understand like where should you who should you seek as for whatever your needs are.
So when it comes to chiropractic, it really exactly what you said. It's more so should be directed into what is it that you're looking for. Now, for me, at that time, I was wanting to get out of pain,
Mhm.
and pain is what drives most people to the chiropractor. They've tried all these other options, it's not working, so we're usually the last resort for a lot of people.
Hmm.
But the more you begin to understand in totality the benefits of chiropractic, then you want to start looking for those wellness doctors that are more concerned about wellness versus pain.
Okay.
And then again with the pain, most people when they get introduced to chiropractic, it's through pain because of automobile accidents, things like that. That's what most people think chiropractic is for, but it's much more. It's way beyond that.
Yeah, and
Way
I would say
beyond
that
that.
like when I got into an accident, the first time I met a chiropractor was after the
After an
accident. I'm thinking,
accident.
oh, well, they're just supposed to align my back. May have some back, and then that was it. But I never knew it was something that it should be a part of a person's just wellness, not when you get to a certain point,
Yeah, because when you go to a chiropractor after an accident, it's because you were injured, and now there's all this money involved, and there's a play with an attorney, and who's going to get what, and all these things. So you're missing out on the education and the actual benefits of being there, and that's one of the things that we have um, really for ourselves in practice. We wanted to get away from that. We wanted to be those wellness doctors that go out
Hmm.
into the community, that educates the community on the benefits of chiropractic and what really true health is really all about.
True,
Yeah.
and that's a big piece too. Like even, but you know what? Before we even go too further, if you see someone walking around with a camera, that's my friend Becky. She's doing some video work.
Hey,
So,
Becky.
yes, say hi to the camera, Becky. There she goes. So just let you know, it's not a ghost; it's a real person. So thanks, Becky. Back to what I was going to ask you was that's another piece. Like people are people are not educated into understanding that what their need is and that there is a need. It's not just something you should see only if you're in pain. That should not be your driver. Like your
Right.
whole body is changing over time, and it's so many. What's it called? Your repositioning. Like your body repositions itself
Mm-hmm.
to, due to whatever trauma or just bad posture or because
Right.
your body's it's a chain, right? And so
Right.
it adapts, and then before you know it, it just gets worse and worse. And if people don't really understand and know that where chiropractic lies in that line, I'm sure you get a lot of patients that they should have been seeing you 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. And people come in, people want miracle cures. Everyone is looking for the quick fix to their health.
Quick fix that.
The quick
Now you
fix,
know I'm familiar with that.
exactly, the microwave,
Yes.
they just want everything quick. And when it comes to our health, it doesn't happen that way. When I first met you and we had a discussion, and just kind of the way that you talked about with nutrition and things like that,
Uh
and
huh.
and nutrition is definitely something that's important for people to understand. And so when we talk about health and wellness in our practice, we talk about the 6 pillars of
Okay.
sustenance for better health. And I say sustenance because when I'm a believer of God. I'm a man of God. So I always take it back to this understanding is that we need sustenance. We need things that are going to build the body up and not tear the body down.
Hmm.
Every day from the time that we're born until the time that we pass, we're under three different types of stress. That's all we deal with as human beings when we're living, and that's emotional stress, physical stress, and chemical stress. These are the things that really breaks the body down and causes a lot of the health issues that we have. So anytime we talk, it's funny because we have workshops and things like that where we're doing educating. And I always say that what kills every last one of us is stress. It's
It's
just
a silent
whatever,
killer too
it's the
because you
silent
adapt and
killer.
you get desensitized and before you know it,
Exactly.
but then
Exactly.
your body is takes the reaps not there's no benefits to it. Your body is the one gets the brunt of it because it has
Exactly.
to take it in.
So when you talk about stress, now the key to living a healthy life, a wellness life, is helping the body to adapt to those stresses because we can't get away from it.
Yep, it's gonna
So
take
that's
from it.
where it comes back to those things that we talk about, the sustenance that the body needs in order to really fight the daily stresses that we deal with every day. And the only way we can do that is if we stay highly educated. And you know, when anytime you turn on the TV nowadays, it's commercials talking about, you know, take this pill, take this potion, take this needle, whatever the case may be, in
Not
order
addressing
to,
the
and
underlying
yeah,
issue.
and it's not addressing anything. The underlying issue is the body's inability to adapt to the normal stresses that the body is under every single day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about those sustenance, like what? Give me a few of them.
So nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't like to say nutrition, so to speak, or diet, because then people go to thinking about, oh, I got to cut this out, I got to cut that out, and all these different things. But if you think about it in this, you know, especially in this country,
Mm-hmm.
when we think about eating or when we think about diets or if we're trying to lose weight, the first thing we think about is cutting calories, or we're going to cut this food, eliminate this, and I want to add this. So, from our standpoint, again, we have to do the things, we have to give things to the body so the body can do what God created it to do, and that's heal, regenerate,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, heal itself. So, you have to think of things down to the cellular level. The body is made up of billions and trillions of cells that basically form who we
Our
are.
body, yes.
So, if you're not fighting stress on the cellular level, it's going to be very hard to get that wellness and enjoy life like we should.
I gotta tell you something. That I actually use that when I'm talking to my clients to
Mhm.
help them to understand, like when it comes to nutrients and what that means. You know,
Right.
when you're eating, like let's say you're eating a salad,
Mhm.
and I can name 20 different nutrients and vitamins that are coming from that salad,
Exactly.
and they all contribute to each cell. That helps to rebuild the cell, helps the cell to synthesize better. It helps build other cells. Cells
Uh-huh.
differentiate into hair cells, into skin cells, into nose cells. And so what happens, these cells that are coming in with that's more nutrient dense, they're stronger, they're
They're
more
stronger.
efficient, and more optimal. And so like your body is actually changing from the inside out. And a
Right.
lot of times when
That's
people,
how it is.
if we say nutrition, people change the way to eat because they want to change what they see in the mirror, the
Right.
outside in. But if you start recognizing what you're putting in your body, what's building your body, you're
Mhm.
changing from the inside out. And that's emotional. I mean, that's obviously the physical part, but it's so many things you're changing internally
Right.
when you start looking at it that way. So when you're talking about it, it's like I completely am in line with you.
Oh,
That's how I
we're
look
on the
at it.
same page because now with you talking about the building from the inside, um, a staple, a principle of chiropractic is ADIO.
Okay.
ADIO.
ADIO. Tell me what that means.
Above, down, inside, and out.
Okay.
That's how the body heals. So again, like I said, being spiritual, believing in God and what He has created within us,
Mm-hmm.
it first starts with Him having that connection. So, you know, the body's ability to heal comes from above, down, inside the body, inside, and then it's expressed outwardly.
Hmm.
So same thing that you're saying. Yeah.
People like
It-
it's just one of those things that's so it it's back to the education, like helping
mhm.
people to even see it that way.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and we're not taught to see it that way, and it's worth the time, and it's not supposed to be a quick fix. So, for
Right.
example, when you're talking about the quick fix, when you're looking at like when we look at food or we're looking at the work that you're doing as something that's healing,
Mm-hmm.
when you're healing something, it takes time to
Takes
heal.
time.
But if you need to just put a band, you want to cure the symptoms. Oh, that's a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
Medication, pills, it solves the symptoms.
Right.
But we think, oh, if we eat a certain way, we go see our chiropractor, we go do these things that help to build us. If it doesn't happen quickly, it's not working. No, if you're healing something, you're changing the entire makeup of
Right.
the internal
Right.
pieces. It takes time,
It takes a lot of time.
you know?
Time. It's a process. Healing is a process. Something else you just mentioned where you were talking about these things, I think now when you think about when you look at some people now and you ask them about the doctors that they see,
Mm-hmm.
people have a healthcare team or I'm not here to bash anyone or bash any profession, but I look at it as a sick care team. So if you have your primary care, you have your kidney specialist, you have your heart specialist, you have all these different specialists that a lot of people are seeing, and each one of those doctors are giving you medication to cure whatever it is that they specialize in.
Yep.
So when it comes to health, they're not taking care of your body health-wise per se, but more so the sickness that you present with. Again, going back to the symptoms that you're talking about. So in my eyes, in chiropractic, and what we think about is when you want to be well, you need a wellness team. So you need a nutritional
Not a
expert.
healthcare
You
team.
need a
Well, yeah.
chiropractor. You need maybe a yoga instructor. You need a good pastor or someone that you can go and talk with. You need all these things that's going to give you what the body needs in order to combat the stresses that's affecting the body.
It's coming right back to the stress.
It's
Right.
coming right back to the stresses. So in chiropractic, when we talk about ADIO, above, down, inside, and out, and when people come to us and I got this and I got that, I was sitting like this, I was sitting like that. The reason these things affect us and the reason stresses affect the body is because of the nervous system. So, a lot of people are mistaken that in chiropractic we treat the spine, which we do. The spine, the bones of the spine, more so because it protects the most important system in the body, the brain and the spinal cord, and all the nerves that come out from in between. That's what controls, directs everything that we do in life. So when the nervous system starts to become compromised due to stress, that's when we begin to see symptoms.
Okay.
So in chiropractic, in our eyes, I can't heal you. It's not my job to heal you. It's not any other chiropractor's job to heal you. And any other doctor that says that they can heal you, it's just not possible. The body heals itself. The body just needs those things. It needs no interference with the nervous system, above, down, inside, and out, in order for healing to take place. So when we make adjustments, all we're doing is alleviating the physical stresses
Okay.
that have succumbed to the nervous system, now giving more life to that nervous system and the brain, because the brain is always functioning and doing what it's supposed to do. But if the signals from the brain is not getting to the heart properly, over time, what's going to start to happen? You develop high blood pressure, you develop all these other issues, and now we have heart issues. So for us, if we treat the spine, we make adjustments to the spine to reduce and remove stress and interference to the nervous system. And then we move out the way and we allow what God created to do the healing.
The body, yeah, to do
Yeah.
what it's, and I have never looked at it that way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure many people have not.
No.
And that's where the education part is so valuable, because people understand how to help their body through these times, then it can heal so many different things. Because you just mentioned how it can turn into where hypertension comes from, where heart conditions come from.
Definitely.
Everything is so connected,
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not, what is, wellness and what is preventive care,
Right.
I think preventive care is education.
It is.
To me,
That's the key.
obviously what I do for a living, I want to help people not get to the hospital. I don't want to
Right.
talk to you when you're in the hospital about your health. You've already gotten to that point to where you're not going to receive it, and we've already have so many obstacles where to just getting there, to where it's just going to be very hard for a person to turn around their health.
Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
can cut in the middle and educate you and help you understand what you're doing to your body, how can you not just live your body, but live your body in the best? Like,
Yeah.
I hear people, you want to live a life, but you want to live life as happy and healthy as
It's
you
happy
can.
and healthy.
And
Yeah.
when you have the ability to do it, to me, that's where I just don't understand. Because if you know that if you do X, Y, Z, that's going to help your body to be on this earth as long as
Hmm.
possible. But the education part is where that's the gap.
Yeah, the education is the missing piece. I mean, I just think nowadays, again, we're influenced so much by what we see on TV and what we read that we tend to, we miss out on a lot. We miss out on what the truth really is. A lot can be hidden from a commercial. A lot can be hidden from what's written in a book.
Or we're distracted.
And we get distracted, yeah, from what's really going on and where true health really lies. They're creating drugs to make someone live to be 120 years old when the
Mm.
body is already designed that way. We just don't treat it as such. So, early death and all these different things, a lot of it just comes from the lifestyle. So that's the biggest education piece that we have to continue to do is educate about lifestyle and the choices that we make. Because when you think about it, it's your choice of whether or not you want to live to be 100 years old or whether or not you want to live to be 40 or 50 years old.
It's your choice.
It's
Yeah.
your choice through the decisions that you make.
And it's your choice at the end of the day. But we're equipping people with the opportunity to make the better choice for themselves.
Right.
That's how that's how you can turn things around.
Right.
Now, I know one of the things that you and I have spoken about, things outside of your practice, what you do things in the community.
Yes.
Now, like, talk a little bit more about that because you're not just in your building. You're bringing people to your building, or you going away from your building?
So kind of both. So in the facility that we're in, the top floor. What we think about again when it comes to health and wellness, we're trying to bring a team of professionals together that gives that's not your norm. That's not the mainstream. That's not going to be giving you a pill when you walk through the door. So we're trying to bring that kind of system into the building that we're in. So we have a reflexologist. We're looking for an acupuncturist. We have massage therapy. We have a mental health specialist.
Wow.
We have a mobile phlebotomy unit because blood is a big thing, and understanding blood chemistry and things like that. Now you see a good nutritionist, they can start to direct and do the things that they need to do. So we're looking at everything from a holistic standpoint. The body functions as a whole. When you have high blood pressure, you don't just have high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the beginning or leading to something else down the road. So, excuse me, high blood pressure is also affecting the lungs, can also affect the heart as well as the kidneys. So, just taking one thing that's going on with the body and trying to fix it is not the way that the body works.
Yes.
You got to treat the body as a whole. So when you take care of the body as one, you treat the body and not necessarily the high blood pressure. Now what you start
Everything
to
else,
see is,
domino effect.
yeah, it's a domino effect. Blood pressure gets better, kidneys start to improve, heart functions better, you're breathing better, you're losing weight, you're active, you're more happy. Now you're enjoying your relationships. It's all these
It's
different
all
things.
so
Yeah,
connected.
yeah.
So within your practice, you were talking about some of the workshops that you guys do.
Uh-huh.
So like, what's the dynamic of that? Or
So with the workshops, we every month we do a workshop. So whether it's talking about stress, so all the things that I'm talking about now, we try to do a workshop where we're addressing some of these things. So like when I talk about the 6 pillars of sustenance, nutrition, we talk about physical resilience. A lot of people feel like they have to go to the gym and do all these different things, but the goal is for the body to be resilient, meaning that if you get up and you go to work, you do something that you're not normally used to doing, usually we're sore and we're down for a day or two. Well, if you work on keeping the body physically resilient, then you can go out and do those things every now and then, and your body is able to bounce back.
so what does it mean by physical resilience? Because I never heard those words put together.
I know it's a different play on the words,
Uh-huh.
because again, you don't have to go to a gym in order to get physical activity in. So it could just be anything from walking a few minutes a day or getting on a good stretch routine,
Okay.
or the things that you enjoy doing, do it as an exercise. So if I'm mopping the floor at home, dance with the mop.
Yeah.
You know,
Put a little
you
more
you
energy
you
into it.
dance with the broom and things like that. That way you're keeping the body physically resilient.
Okay.
So you're able to do these things and the body bounces right back.
Got
Rather
it.
than, you sit around all day with a couch potato and then we get up, we sweep or we mop and we're bending over and we're doing it the hard way and then we feel the effects from it later on. So it's just a different way of trying to educate because it helps people get inspired
I said
to
I
go out
like
and
that
do
because it's
something.
not. It's when people say physical fitness or they say exercise, they're automatically thinking of something regimented. They have to
Right.
achieve when it can really just moving your
It's
body.
moving the
And
body.
that's one thing I said. Just your body's meant to move. It loves to
It
move.
loves to move.
That's why when we were walking or we're listening or we're moving, we feel happy. Our
Yes.
body needs that. So what does that look like for a person? And so saying
Mhm.
physical resilience is just kind of it's opening up and making it more open, more inclusive, because
Yeah.
then people can kind of figure out what that means for them.
Exactly.
And if you
Exactly.
like doing whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to keep doing it, right? And
Mhm.
so that's,
Right.
to me, is what kind of gets people to
It
move
does.
forward in whatever their movement or exercise activities are.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think something else that's important that, which is usually the first advice that we give to people, is drink more water. You know, you know, a lot
Oh
of
my
people are
goodness.
walking. We walk around dehydrated,
Hydrated.
and symptoms. We have all the symptoms of it.
Hmm.
But when you don't know, you just don't
Again.
know.
Yeah.
So when you're tired, you get up at 8 o'clock. You're at work at 9 o'clock, and then by 10 o'clock you need a nap. You're probably dehydrated,
True.
or you're hungry and you just ate 15 minutes ago. What you're eating is not doing it. You're probably thirsty, and that's how people begin to overeat, and that's how we pick up the weight and we don't realize it. But water is refreshing to the body. Water detoxifies the body. Water rejuvenates the body. Water does so much for the body that we don't
I feel like
understand.
we take it for granted.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And it's crazy to me because I'm like, man, they sell they sell water.
They sell water.
They sell water. That's just how good it is. I mean, that's how beneficial it can be for us. It's a cost to it. It's a
Mm.
cost to it. But we need water. And coffee won't do it. Tea won't do it. Soda, juice, it has water in it. We hear that all the time.
But we need
But we
water.
need
That's
pure H2O, like the movie Waterboy.
Mhm.
We just need that pure H2O.
When I have my clients, and I'm every single time we meet, how's the water going? Like, it's one of those things I just keep saying just to keep in the back of their head, because it's a routine that is it's not easy to implement, especially if you're not used to doing it. So
Mhm.
what I am always big about reminding about the water. But one thing that I hear about it from my clients and myself, when you start drinking more water, and let's say you forgot your water bottle,
Mhm.
that next day you're thirsty.
Right.
And I'm like, you're supposed to be, because now you're giving your body what it needs as
Mm.
far as the water, so it can start divvying it up and utilize it the way it's supposed to, which makes
Right.
it you utilize it more efficiently. And because of that, it needs more to come in.
Yeah.
I mean, our body will
Yes.
adapt. If we drink low water, our body has to adapt to low amounts of water. But we bring it in, our body is saying like, yes, give me that. This is what I need, and I need more.
Yeah.
So that's something that people don't think about either. Like, when you drink more water, you're more thirsty, because
You're more thirsty.
finally giving your body what it needs as far as
Exactly.
water.
And I think that also goes to, I mean, you work out. When you get in the routine of working out and being physically active, those days where you're sitting around not doing anything, your body is craving you to get up and do something, or you've missed something. The same as with eating food. When you start to feed the body the things that it needs to give you energy, that's going to give you energy. When you kind of shift away from eating that way,
Mhm.
your body feels it. And your body, when that lethargic feeling and all those things, that's your body letting you know that, hey, I'm missing something.
You know what? I think one thing about, we talk about education and being educated. I think there is another component of being aware of your body. Being aware.
Awareness.
We don't make the connection if we're tired. What does that mean? If we're thirsty, like, are we thirsty, or is it
Uh-huh.
something else? When it comes to our food, like when you start eating clean foods, your body you're giving your body the exact things it needs to
Yes,
process the way it's supposed to process. So when you go back to having something that's more processed, your body tells you immediately. But see,
it
people
does.
people haven't connected to their bodies so where they're more in tune with the subtleties,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's another thing too. And then we talk about being bombarded by the media, but I had mentioned distractions for a reason because you're so distracted by if it's your phone, if it's what's going
Right,
on in your family, if it's work, you know, that connecting yourself to you're not even connecting yourself to yourself.
right.
And then you don't know. A lot of times people will say this, I didn't know I could feel this. I didn't know I can feel this good.
Right.
And I'm thinking, that's where you're supposed to feel.
That's the way you're
And
supposed to
people
feel.
people don't realize it because things are it's such a chronic, like at whether it's health, your health, it's such a chronic change. It's so subtle to where
Mm-hmm.
you become desensitized to the change until it gets to a point to where you're
Yeah.
you're in this rut and you think this is the norm. But it's back to that awareness, like being connected to your body, and that
Mm-hmm.
to me is very important.
You said something is very interesting that, sometimes we're just not being aware. So people always say that I didn't know I could feel this good.
Hmm.
I hear that a lot too. And I think sometimes people get used to just feeling a certain way and it's expected. So we always have people come in, and I'll tell you another thing. You had mentioned patience earlier. So we do away with that word patient because when you hear patient, what does that mean to you?
It's gonna
Someone
take a
that's
long
sick,
time.
right?
Well, patient as far as the
A
physical
patient as a
person, yes.
person,
Hmm.
that's the first thing that pops in people's mind
Someone that's sick.
is sick if
Hmm.
you're a patient. So again, it goes back to we pay attention to all these little things to also help change the mindset because that's a big thing as well. So we don't call any people that come into our practice they're not patients. We let them know you're a practice member. You've now become a member of our practice because we want to
Hmm.
do away with the old ways of
The link,
thinking and
yes.
being connected to a sick body. The body is a self-healing organism. And so the minute they walk into the office, that's what we want to start to get them to understand is that your body has the ability to heal itself. But I think so many people are so caught up on, I'm 40, 50 years old now, so this
That's
is
the way it's
this is
supposed to be.
supposed the way it's supposed to be, and it's because people don't really understand what health really is or what it is to be to feel good, to feel
Hmm.
good. And well, I don't want to say feel good because feeling is a poor judgment of how really healthy we are as well. But getting away from that mentality of at this age these things are supposed to happen. When you reach this age, now you start to have this. That's just not the way that we were created. That's
No.
not the way life is supposed to be for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where if you don't know any better, especially if this is what this is a part of your family, this is what they do, it's what you've seen, that's what's surrounding you, then
Mhm.
you're gonna think that's the norm. And
Yeah.
what I do like about especially professionals like yourself and myself, and even just the way we have more opportunity to be exposed to this is how you can live,
Right.
and these are the people that can position you to help you be that way,
Uh-huh.
not to make you be there, to help you, because
Help.
it's an element of people, it's an element of empowering people to do to give them the confidence to educate them so they can do what best fits them,
Right.
versus just following. If you say, okay, you need to come every 3 weeks,
Mhm.
XYZ, then they're just doing what you tell them.
Right.
They're not understanding why I'm doing this.
Mhm.
I'm not empowered.
Right.
So I think another component of this, how can you empower people to do what they need to do best for their bodies?
I think the way to do that is tapping into people's values. Um, everyone, and I look at it from a parent. We're both parents. We want to be able to be there for our sons. We want to be able to be there for our daughters. We want to be able to get out and do things with them. For a lot of people, there are value systems that they have,
Hmm.
and these are the things that encourages us. These are the things that empowers us and will help us. So if you're able to tap into that value system, what is it that you would like to do that you haven't been able to do? Or what are the things that you enjoy doing that you haven't been able to enjoy doing? And you really ask those questions. You know, we always asking people those questions because I want to know who you are. I want to know what brings joy to your life. Even during this time, this period that you're dealing with right now, if you could be from here over here, what would you be doing here? And that's what I want to get people focused on, because now everything that I'm telling them to do is working towards getting you here and not keeping you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to give them, allow them that there's a pathway to it.
Right.
And again, the quick fix situation, even like a quick fix, when there is a quick fix, you have not had the opportunity to learn any, you have not had opportunity to evolve just yourself and who you are and how you deal with this process, or how do you handle it.
Right.
You know, and I think there's something to be said about taking time and taking time to break things apart, to rebuild, so that you can appreciate the work that you've done, and that it will better equip you for the next stressor in life that's going to come.
Right.
If there were some tips that you know how it's, people always saying, Rashonda, just give me some quick tips. I'm like, it's not that easy.
It's not easy.
But there are a few just, I call them pillars of just these three things. If you can do these three things now, then it will at least start setting some foundation. So when you have clients, practice members. I was like, I'm not going to say patients.
Clients is better than patients, though.
When you have practice members, or you're having someone that's inquiring, or just even want to understand not just chiropractic, but your form of chiropractic, like what would be like 3 tips or 3 things you would try to give them with to build a foundation?
I think 3 things that I would tell people. Now, is this for people that's inquiring about chiropractic, or just to make changes in their life?
The latter. As a chiropractor, through your lenses, like what would you tell a person to help them to, the things that you've mentioned just now was just eye-opening, and I'm in the healthcare field. But I mean, if you were just to simplify and condense into like 3 things, like what would it be?
The first thing I would have people ask themselves a question, and that question would be, 5 years ago, are you healthier now than what you were 5 years ago? And if the answer to that question is no, the second thing, make your mind up. You have to make your mind up first to accept anything that comes from me. So I can't give you any quick tips if you're not ready to do anything for yourself. So you have to ask yourself that question first, and then you have to have a made up mind. And when you have that made up mind, give me a call.
Yeah. and again, it's just one of those things, when people are ready, they're ready.
Right.
And when they're ready, they're going to give you a call. So in the meantime, influencing them, educating them, and empowering them to get to that position where they're ready to make that change. Because when they're there, they're there.
Yeah.
If they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they're going to piddle paddle. They're not really. It's not about being sold or bought. It's about recognizing what's most important to you right now. What are you investing in?
Right.
Are you investing in yourself? It goes back to the value system. What's your priority? What's most important to you? And understanding it's going to take time. It's going to take investing, because that's the only way you're really going to get there and be able to appreciate it.
Definitely.
So I wish we could have like a part 2 to this conversation, because I have at least 5 or 6 other questions I want to ask you, but I know we're limited on time.
Okay.
But I do know that have an opportunity to have you on this set, you not only just enlighten me, but it's so many people out there that have no idea, like I say, there's different types of chiropractors. Everyone has different intentions.
Right.
And just to kind of hear your voice and to see what's going on behind this, and that's why you have a wellness team, like just that language there. I mean, in having the different healthcare professionals within that team, it's about wellness, not about healing, or not healing. It's not about if you're just giving you a bandage for being sick, not having specialties that are compartmentalized, that just everyone's throwing something at you, but having someone working as a team, and they're working with you. That's another thing too. Like, your wellness team is they're all connected to you. You're on the team with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's a lot to be said with that.
Yeah.
Your private practice in Overland, Missouri.
Yes.
Is there? Give us some information about where you guys are at. Where's your? If you guys have a website, or how can they contact you, or you have any events coming up? Kind of give us everything you can.
So yes, our practice is Proficient Chiropractic. We're in Overland, Missouri, 2050 Woodson Road. We've been there for 12 years. Our number you can reach us at is 314-447-0725. Or you can check us out on our website, proficientchiro.com, as well as Proficient Chiropractic Facebook. So we continue to do a lot. We're constantly in the community, doing lectures. Beginning of the new year, we will be doing a detox for the entire office. Anyone that wants to join. So we'll have the way that we do it is we usually have a workshop. We do and all of our workshops are open to the community. We don't charge anything for them. We just welcome people to come out and get information. So that's the one thing that we do have coming up. So the whole month of January, we're talking about what it is to detox, what a detox is, and really understanding the benefits of a good detox. To really jumpstart your body into a new path for the new year.
Nice. Well, Dr. Tipler, I appreciate you coming out here and having a conversation with me.
I thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. What I gleaned from our conversations that, it's about helping people understand that the body can heal itself, and how can we put ourselves in a position where that
Right.
actually happens.
Yeah.
And also taking time and what it means to have what is self-care. Or even being exposed to what is self-care to you, and not looking something up online and figuring out a quick fix, but taking the time to know your body and understand that so much power in what your body can do. So again, thank you for coming today. I look forward to probably having you on again if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
And hope that you have a good holiday, and I'm excited about 2020. I'm sure that both of us will be in a position we're continuing to change the world.
Yes, changing lives.
Yes.
Changing lives. Thank you. And you, I just appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, you're
It really is a pleasure. I love what I do. I love talking about health and wellness through the vehicle of chiropractic. And so, yeah, anytime.
Well, you keep using your vehicle, I'm going to keep using my vehicle, and we're going to take the bull by his horn and keep making it happen.
All right.
All right, Rashonda Thornton again, Dietitian Against Diets. Let's go against the mentality of the diet mentality, and start learning how to use nutrition and use our body in ways that shows self-care and self-love. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you guys soon. I hope that you guys enjoyed that conversation. Dr. Tipler comes on here, not just his passion, but with so much knowledge, in a way that we can start looking at our body in a different way than what we've been taught to. So his biggest thing is your body heals itself. That is something that would never leave from my thought process. So I really appreciate you coming out and having this conversation with me. So as we're wrapping up this podcast, there are a few companies that made this podcast happen. One in particular is Banner Road. So Banner Road Baking Company is a company that has been birthed out of St. Louis, and now they are across the nation. And the reason why I say this, because I know the owner. I remember when she first started, and her products, they have been infused outside of the state of Missouri, across the U.S., and it's the reason why, because it's pretty good. The uniqueness about their company is that it's just not a handful of oatmeal like you see most granolas. It's more seeds, it's more nuts, it's more variety in the way that the granola is put together, and they use only healthy ingredients. So organic ingredients, nothing is processed. You can look at the back of the label and you can read every word. So in my opinion, that's the kind of granola I want. And they have unique flavors that I think would make your tongue think differently about granola. So see more and see what their products are in the St. Louis area, and see where they are across the U.S. by going to bannerroad.com. And if not, go to Instagram, and you can go to their spot called Banner Road. And I'm sure when you go on there, you would know exactly what I mean. Last but not least, Janie's Meal. So Janie's Meal, where you're talking about grains and healthy foods, they are in the same window in regards to healthiness. So Janie's Meal, they basically are a grain and bread company. Bread, flour, cornbread meal, any type of meals that allows you to make your own bread products or your own baking good products that you know exactly what's in it. You don't have to worry about anything being artificial, anything being processed, nothing is bleached. Their process of the milling their grains is actually done in a way to make sure that all the nutrition doesn't leave out. So not only are you going to get high nutritious food, but you're also going to get foods that taste great. So go to Janie's Meal and take a look at their baking goods and decide how you're going to make your next meal. Or you can obviously go to their Instagram account and you will see how they have taken their baking goods to a whole other level towards, I look at it as art. So just looking at it makes me want to kind of go online and grab some of their products. So Janie's Meal, a unique company that's all about healthy, nutritious baking goods. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the conversation with Dr. Tipler, and that this will only prompt you to continue to think differently about your nutrition and about your body. And if this is something that you think was beneficial to just not only your ears but someone else's, please feel free to share this or subscribe to the podcast, so therefore you get them as they come fresh off the boat. So have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you guys later.